Hi, this is Brianna Eslick with Nursing 383, and I will be doing my musculoskeletal assessment here first. First of all, when I walk into the room, I'm going to wash my hands, and I will introduce myself to the patient. Hi, Brianna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And then to start off my musculoskeletal assessment, I will go ahead and just do a general overview of the patient, looking at his scapula and the symmetry, and everything is aligned in the front. And then we will turn to the back, and I will look at the scapula in the back here and make sure that those are aligned symmetrically and even, which is good. And then I will start with palpating, and I will feel on the shoulders, the scapula, and the bones and the muscles here, and I will go down to the elbows and go down to the wrist and feel the joints here, and then down to the fingers and feel all of the joints in the fingers, and I will do that bilaterally. Next, after we palpate, I'm going to feel for the pulses. I will feel for the radial pulse here, and the brachial pulse, and then the upper trochlear lymph nodes. Next, we are going to do range of motion. I'm going to have you circle your arms forward for me. And there's something in the way, so we can't go all the way. And then backwards. All right, and then adduct and abduct. Thank you. And then I would want you to have your arms behind you, and then over behind your head. Perfect, so there's good range of motion there. Next, we're going to check for strength. I'm going to have you put your arms up, and I want you to push forward on me. All right, good. Now backwards, and out, and in. There's good strength there bilaterally. Those would be scored as a 5 out of 5. Next, I'm going to check the strength of your wrist, so push against me. And now push back. Good. Now spread your fingers out. We'll check the strength of your fingers. And don't let me push them in. Okay, now good. Put them together and don't let me push them out. Good. All right. Next, after checking the strength, which was all good there, and we checked the range of motion, we can go ahead and move on to the lower extremities. Next, I will, on the lower extremities, which I'll move this down here, I will first just inspect the lower extremities here and make sure that they look, the color first, make sure there's no abnormalities in the color, and if there were, we would be thinking possibly vascular or arterial diseases. And next, after color, I will look at the hair distribution that is equal bilaterally, as well as muscular atrophy here at all, which there is none. And then after inspecting, we will palpate, and I will feel the temperature of the legs all the way down to the feet, and they should be warm bilaterally and equal. Next, I will palpate for any edema. I'll use my thumb and press down on the foot here for 10 seconds and release and watch for any edema, and there is no pinning edema, and I will do that bilaterally. And that is good. Next, I will palpate the pulses. First, I will start with the posterior tibial, which is behind the median malleolus there, and then I will do the dorsal pedis pulse on top of the foot, and we'll feel behind the knee for the popliteal pulse, and I will do that bilaterally here with all those pulses. Good. Now we will check range of motion here, and I'm going to do passive range of motion first, where I will extend the legs for him at the knees. That is checking the range of motion of the knees. All right, and that's passive. And now you can do that by yourself, and that would be active range of motion, and he has good active range of motion in the knees as well. And then if you could, just 1 foot at a time, lift up your feet and check the range of motion of your feet. So flex your feet and point your toes, okay, and curl, and then roll your ankles both ways. Good, and then we would do that bilaterally, but we won't do that here. All right, next we're going to check the strength of the legs here. So I want you to push against me. Good. Now I'll push backwards. Thank you. All right, now we will stand up here. All right, and I want you to squat for me. Good. Now bend side to side, and then twist, and then bend forward, and stretch back. That looks good. Now I'm going to have him bend forward and touch his toes for me, and I will be feeling the spine for spinal alignment, and everything feels good there. All right, you can sit back down. Thank you. And throughout the whole musculoskeletal exam, I'll be watching his coordination, balance, gait, any muscle atrophy that we would be finding there, but he has good muscle coordination. Everything is strong bilaterally. Thank you.